All right, guys, how's it going? We're back with the skid steer. I felt it was time to do the limit switches for you guys. So what I've come up with is this is the limit switch that we normally would use, or that I used in the instructions, and then I forgot that I had gotten these super micro limit switches. So we're gonna go ahead and test these. See if they work in the same way. I would assume they are. So just a momentary push. Let's see if we can get these to work, and if they do, I will post a link in the BOM, and then you guys could use these as well. But I wanted to show you guys how I wire those in, and then we'll go ahead and get some LEDs installed to that way we can work at night, which would be pretty sweet. So let's go ahead and get to it.
2000s with the advent of the internet.
All right.
Smartphones.
So we'll go ahead and take our flux, our solder, and our wire, and then our
was then very
switches.
quickly tied to the addiction
closer look at the
church.
These ones, and then here's the micro, or what they say is the micro version. And then we're going to test them out, or test this out, see. So this guy here, the one with the white line, we're going to assume is our positive. We're going to take that off, or take off the black, our negative side, on here. And then we're going to run that to the limit switch, and I'll show you guys how I do that on one of the motors.
So Jody Hildebrandt was on these.
And actually, because I ran the motor, or the wires back through the arm separately, what I'll end up having to do is
men with sexual addiction and women experiencing betrayal trauma because of that addiction.
I'll probably have to take one of those off and then make a jumper going over to this motor, and then have that one going over to the limit switch. I'm gonna have to figure that out, but we'll figure it out together. First step is to unsolder our tip there. So
I said, I can be honest,
a little bit of solder on here.
And she said, great. And kind of immediately hired me. She was very direct. I thought she was kind of the embodiment of a woman who knew who she was and where she was going. You can see this passion in her videos.
Addiction is just ravaging our world.
Just kind of split those apart a little bit.
What's going on? Well, this is what's going on. People don't understand that they're choosing distortion rather than choosing truth because they don't even know this is a thing.
Grab your sponge.
Having grown up very religious, it's common to face a lot of shame with anything in regards to pornography.
Put it on your tip.
That's something that
Looks
we'll
good.
struggle with, myself included.
All right, guys. So we actually found we found the diodes. They are one of the really common ones. I think I got these on Amazon. It's a 53490 or 1N5349. Trying to see where the N is. Okay, so it's on there. You got the 1N, and then you got the 5349. I got these on Amazon for like $6. It gave me a bunch of them, but essentially what you're gonna want to do is, this is how the diode will sit. It's just like this on there. So the line facing this way, and then what I was doing is just bending it down as much as it can go. Right, and then what it works out with this one is it kind of sits just like that on there. So it gives you enough room to get some solder right here on this corner, and then you can still get your wire on both of those. So we're gonna go ahead and get that wired up. So we already got this guy done. So we'll go ahead and essentially what I'm gonna probably do with this is, just because I'm gonna be soldering it multiple times, I'll probably just grab these and bend this just around. Probably just solder it on there. Because what happens is it sits right here. Oh wow, that grabbed it pretty good. So we'll probably just leave it like that. But anyhow, it sits just like this right here. And, oh, I'm sorry, it sits like this. About right here. And then when this bucket turns, it kind of comes back around like this and then hits right there. And then the other one goes up under here. But I'm not going to use that because that's the one for curling all the way back. And I mean, I don't know if you guys can see how far back it's curled now. That's probably the most you'll ever want to curl it anyways. And that's, you still have a good amount to curl it before it hits the end of this, or excuse me, the inside of this arm. So we won't need that one. If you guys want to do that, just follow this step for that one as well. But let's go ahead and get this guy soldered on here. So I'll just cut this off right here. And these are soft. Don't be afraid to cut them. Okay, and that's that. That's on there pretty nicely. I like how that's sitting. So we'll be able to solder either ends of those. We can go ahead and do that now. I don't have my helping hand, but or hands, but I have a helping hand. I don't really have anywhere to put it though. So let's see. So that's it. There we go. We can do something like that. I want you guys to be able to see it though. Let me zoom in. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see this a little bit better. I think I can do it with one hand. So I always grab some flux. Always want that flux. Even if these parts just came fresh from the factory out of the bag, just use flux. Save you a lot of headache. Sometimes you get some dirty stuff from the factory. We don't need much. All right, grab our tip. I'm gonna just rest this over here for a second. And then what I'll usually do is use this guy, kind of extend that, and then I'll just use that to kind of hang here. So then what we'll do is just heat it up a little bit until you can see the solder took really nicely. I don't know if you guys can see that. Looks good right there. So the same thing on this side. You guys can't really see it, and that took really nicely. Set that down real quick, grab our sponge, clean off our tip. Always clean your tip off. Looks good. All right, so this is what we want it to look like. And you can see that this is, well, it's definitely on there. Nicely on there. And it would have definitely helped if I would have done that the right way. So let me redo that, dang it. All right, so I actually had to make another one. I'm a dum-dum, and I don't think I'll be able to get this one off.
without breaking these tabs. So we're just going to go ahead and toss that one, charge it to the game. So you want, again, you want your line to be on this part of the switch here, right? So this, I believe, is the closed side. So once again, this line of your diode on this side of your switch. So you're closed, you're normally open, you're normally closed. You want the line on the closed side. So let's go ahead and do this again. A little bit of the goods. All right. Grab our tip. Let's go ahead and load her up. All right, that's what you want it to look like. Looks great, nice and shiny. Same thing for this side. All right, nice and shiny. Give us a little bit of a additional for some wire. All right, nicely on there. Great. Remember, we're not using that center tab. All right, so now we just have to figure out, because I can't remember, it's been a little while since I've had to do this. We got to figure out if which side this wire goes on. So this wire is going to go on one of these sides, and then the one coming out is going to go back to the motor. So unfortunately, what we're going to end up having to do is we're going to take the black or the ground off of one of these motors here, and then we're going to make a jumper going across, because we need it to talk to both of the motors. Probably would have been better to just run one wire through here and do that. Actually, it would have been. I don't know what I was thinking. One of these wires was supposed to be for in here, but I ended up just linking them both, which was a little silly. But I mean, I could still do that. I could just take this wire and run jumpers over, but regardless, we're going to go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to end up doing first, let me unzoom. All right, that's better. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to get the wire ready. I always get this two strand. Because we don't want to have to roll this back over. All right. So let's figure out, we have our black on this side. So let's go ahead and get that one out as well. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm gonna do here. Let's go ahead and open this up. Hopefully you guys are doing this without these tops on here. Okay, so this wire is actually going to end up, this wire here is just going to be kind of useless. We're not going to end up using it. We'll leave it there just in case I got the wrong wire. So what we're going to do, grab our flux. All right, dip your wire in it. Grab your solder. I'll do that. Right, and right now we're just making our jumper. Just make it nice and quick, real quick. Or make it nice and quick. Not real quick. Alright. So we know that one's probably going to be, we'll just leave it like right there. Alright. We're gonna have two wires coming together, so I'm gonna make this one just a little bit bigger. Or the stripped part, make it just a little bit bigger because we're gonna combine two of them. All right, so we'll grab this guy. And again, we're doing this in this order because my bucket is still on. You would normally want to do this when your bucket's not installed yet, so while you're building. And you could use this, the way that this limit switch is wired, you can use that same method for the Kubota, the mini excavator. Any of my mini excavators with the DIY cylinders. All right, perfect. So that's gonna go back right in here. So let's go ahead and solder that guy before we go ahead and turn it. What I'm gonna do is just grab some tweezers just to kind of help me get it inside where I want it. And you know what? I don't like how long this is, so I'm gonna cut it in half. Perfect. So let's go ahead and get that ready. Oop, get a little bit of solder on here. Get this up in here. You don't need it on there for long. You can already see it took really nicely. So that's our jumper here. Well, gosh, Mark, you're just not doing anything right. So I think what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna run this one coming from the inside of the arm. I'm gonna run up from the bottom. And then this guy, we're gonna have this one run through the top here. Because remember, we're gonna, what did I do with it? Remember, we're gonna put it on here, just like this. Actually, I'm just gonna run them both from the bottom, from behind here. So just like that. So we run this one through the bottom. Just like that. Okay, so we know on here that the one coming from the arm is going to be our power in, right? And that's going, I believe, hopefully I'm right. Again, I haven't done this for a while. I believe that's on this side, right? And then we'll plug in this one to here. And that should allow us to stop these motors. Or it will, it's not, it should. It will allow us to stop the motors before they hit their limit and strip the gears in here. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just solder the limit switch on, or the wires to the limit switch. In hopes that we're on the right side, and this is just for testing, so it doesn't have to look pretty right now. All right. So now we can, we have our switch here. So in theory, everything should work normal, right? So let's go ahead and turn on our transmitter. Bend it. Come here. Bend it. Go lay down. Go lay down. Then what we'll do, bend it. God damn it. Go lay down. Go lay down. Bend it. Go. Bend it. Bend it. Come here. Go. Bend it. Get. Dipshit. Alright, so then we'll plug our battery in. Okay, so we'll just make sure everything's functioning properly. Alright. Alright, so that works. Alright, both directions work. So this is the one going for this way, so hopefully we got it right. We might need to switch the wires, let's see. Cool. So that's the way that we want it. So you see how it's not moving at all, but then I release this switch, and then it goes again. But it still allows you to run it this way, right? But not like that. Perfect. So that's exactly how we want to run it. So the power coming in would be for the side that the line is on the diode, or the side of the diode where the line is. And if you guys were to install this one, you would actually pull from the positive, so the opposite wire. So this wire here. Okay, so this wire we're gonna go ahead and we no longer need. So I'll leave it there. I'll just end up placing it. I'm just gonna cut that end off so it can't be used because it technically is hot. And we'll just leave that wire just like that. And then with this, we're gonna go ahead and find out where our limit is. Alright, so our limit is right there. We're gonna go a little bit before that, so right there. I guess I forgot to put the holes in this arm.
That's the right idea.
Thank you, man. Alright, and because I'm drilling, I'm just gonna make a mark real quick. Alright, so we got one. And with these limit switches, I know I said I was going to try and use this little guy, but I can already see that the diode is just way too big and I don't really want to make that work, so we'll save that for a different project. But these 10mm M2s, or M2 by 10, are perfect. And I said I was going to resolder these wires, but they actually they lined up pretty good on here, so let's line that up. Get a little started. All right. Ooh. And then you notice I didn't drill the other hole yet, because we might have to move this, you know, kind of teeter it back and forth. So let's go ahead and figure out where we're at now. All right, so I'm going to teeter it. All right, and then what we're dealing with here is we're gonna have to bend this tab up a little bit. So what we'll do is just bend it, just like that. All right. We're gonna have to do a little bit more than just bending. So we're gonna grab this tip here, and I'm gonna curl it in, because what it's doing is it's just hitting the top, and then we're gonna grab the center here and then tilt it that way. All right, so if you guys, hopefully you can see what I just did. Made like an S on it. Right, let's curl it, and there's our stop. You can see I'm not letting it go, and we'll go full force too. That's how it works. All right, and you'll notice that there's a little bit more of a gap than we want. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and grab that center part, and we'll just curl it down just a little bit more, just like that. Perfect. And that's probably where I want it. Let's just double check. Yeah, that looks good. This is level. That's about where you'd want it. Almost level, maybe a little bit more back. You guys can probably get a little bit more. I might mess with a little bit, but that's how you wire in your limit switches. So, like I said, with this one, you can see how far back it'll just keep going. Actually, that's your limit right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. And you'll never need that. So as soon as you hit, usually when I hit about right there, straight down, up and down, I'm done. I'm good. I know I need to stop. But I really like the limit switch is pretty cool. I love it. Just make sure you have it facing the right way. If you have it going, if you have it sitting like this, you might get debris stuck in here and you won't be able to move it. But hopefully you guys, you learned something, and this will help you out with your build. Thanks for tuning in.